Hi, this is Juliana from the Green Fairy Beadworks, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful pair of earrings that I call the Bubble Fairy earrings. The supplies for this project came from the Eureka Crystal Bubble Essence collection. Try saying that 3 times fast. These collections are not a subscription. They come out about every 2 weeks, and they're very beautifully curated and generally sell out fairly quickly. Unfortunately, this collection has already sold out. But if you go to their website and look under the collection, they have each individual item listed separately, and you can purchase them that way. Or you can choose a completely different color palette, or you can source your beads from a different vendor. So for this project, we are going to need a pair of ball post earrings, 3x2 Chinese rondelles, 4mm bicones, wave beads, 8O Miyuki rounds, 11O Toho treasures, and the rest of these beads are part of the collection mix. There are 3 different colors of 11O rounds. There's a 15O round and a 3mm bugle bead. And I also used a size 11 beading needle and a 6-pound crystal fire line. Oh, and I almost forgot the star of the show, which is this 16mm rivoli. It's stunning. Okay, let's get started. Loaded my needle with the first round of beads, but before we go there, I want to talk about these wave beads. They are 2-hole beads. Whenever I get 2-hole beads, I go ahead and check for patency of all the holes before I even store them and put them away. If you don't want to be as ridiculous as that with me, it's kind of fun for me, I got to admit, but if that's too tedious for you, you can always just check them before your project. Just make sure all the ones you're using in the project have all their holes patent, so you don't get in the middle of your project and it's not fun to find out they're not. Also, these wave beads have a shape to them. So you want to make sure that your wave bead is curving in toward each other at the bottom, and they have that nice little tulip shape. And you will need that going forward for the beads to sit correctly. So let's start on what we're using here. We're going to start at the other end of this needle. You need a wave bead, 11O Toho, wave bead, 2 Tohos, 11O round, 2 Tohos, wave bead, Toho, wave bead, and etc. You're going to do that 4 times. Okay, so we're going to slide all those beads down to the end of our thread there. I leave about a 4-inch tail to weave in later. And then take your needle and go through the first bead you put on. And you're going to go through all of those beads to reinforce the circle. And take your time when you're doing this because you don't want to miss any beads. And it's easy to do. And when you get to the end there, just go ahead and go right on through that first wave bead you put on. and then through the toho and the second wave bead. And then give it a tug, and then you'll have something like this. And then I'm going to turn it over so that I'm beading counterclockwise, because that's how I like to bead. Go ahead and go through that top hole in the wave bead. Pick up a bicone and go through the top hole in the next wave bead. Then you're going to pick up an 11-0 round, a rondelle, an 8-0, a rondelle, and another 11-0 round, and go through the top hole of the next wave bead. Pick up another 4 bicone through the next wave bead. $11.0, rondelle, $8.0, rondelle, and $11.0, and through the next wave bead. And you're going to do that 2 more times. We're coming to the end of the rondelles and 8-0s. Go on through the wave bead and your bicone, through the next wave bead, 11-0 rondelle, and through the 8-0, and you're going to be coming out of that 8-0. Now I'm going to go ahead and thread this tail thread, and I'm not going to make you watch that because I use my needles till they're begging for mercy and it's really difficult to thread them. So I will be back after I thread the needle. And I'm back. So we're going to get rid of this tail thread because it's in the way. And we are coming out of that wave bead. I'm going to just go right there and make a half hitch knot. And then I'm going to go through the tohos and the 11-0 and the tohos. And make another half hitch. And then through the wave bead and the toho. And make a third half hitch. I usually make about 3 half hitches. And then through the wave bead and a couple of more beads. Just to get the tail away from the knot when you get rid of it. And then pull your needle off, and you can either cut it or burn it. I like to use a thread burner. And it's out of the way. Now, picking up your working thread, be coming out of that 8/0. We're going to pick up a 15/0. And on the same side that you're coming out of, you're going to go down into the 11/0. And you're going to pick up a 15/0. And through that same side again that you're coming out of, you're going to go back through the 8/0. Give it a tug. Then going through the rondelle, the 11/0, the wave, and the bicone. And through the wave, the 11/0, the rondelle, and back through the next 8/0. Pick up a 15/0, go down through the 11/0, pick up a 15/0, and back up through the 8/0. Give it give it a tug. You kind of want to make that little. No, my thread got caught. Careful that your thread doesn't get caught. Give it a little tug so that you're making a little indentation there. We're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, we have completed our round of 15/0s. We're coming through our 8/0. Give a little tug. Then we're going to pick up a bugle bead, an 11/0, and a bugle bead. And I'm using the lavender, so a third color of the 11/0. And we're going to go through the next 8/0. Bugle bead, 11/0, bugle bead, through the next 8/0. And then we're going to do this twice more. Okay, so we've come to the last section of our bugle beads. We're going to go through that 8/0 and then go through the bugle bead and the 11/0. Pick up 3 11/0s, rounds, and go to the next 11/0 in the middle of the bugle beads. Give it a tug, not too tight. Pick up 3 11/0s and go through the 11/0 in the middle of the bugles. We're going to do that 2 more times. 3 11/0s through the middle bugle, 11/0. 3 11/0s through the last 11/0. Don't pull this tight just yet. Going to pick up our rivoli and sit it face down in the little nest we made there. And then we're going to pull our beads tight. Then go through the first 3 11-ohs we added and the 11-oh in the middle of the bugles. The next 3 and the 11-oh in the middle of the bugles. And we are going to do this all the way around. Now we've got our center reinforced here, but we're going to reinforce it even further. So we are going to go through the 3 beads that we just added. And we're, oops, got away from me. And we're going to skip that center bead between the bugles and just go through the 3 sets of 3 11-ohs that we just added. Slippery little pendant. And this is just going to reinforce it further and keep it that rivoli nice and snug in there. And that last set, we're going to go through the 11-oh between the bugles. And then we're going to go down through the bugle bead. If I can get in there. There we go. And then through the 8-oh, the rondelle, the 11-oh, the wave bead, and the bicone. And then we're going to add the beads for our earring post. So we're going to pick up 7 15-ohs. And I always count them because I frequently get it wrong, just like right now when I only got 6. One more. And then we're going to go through the other side of the bicone. Now go through 4 of the 15-ohs we just added. Pick up a 15-oh and a rondelle and your earring post. You want to make sure that your earring post is facing in the right direction. It's really easy to get it in the wrong direction. I did it a couple of times, but it's an easy fix, so don't worry if it happens to you. And test it out before you go through your next bead. Pick up a 15-oh and a rondelle. I'm sorry, a rondelle and a 15-oh. The rondelle first, then the 15-oh. And go back through that 15-oh that you're coming out of. You're going to try to finagle that post loop in between those 2 rondelles And it's a little tricky at first. You're going to watch me fumble with it here. But we're going to make that path again up through the 15-0 rondelle, the loop, the rondelle, the 15-0. And we're going to make that path several times until we feel like that loop is secure between those two rondelles. Be patient. It may take a minute and a couple of passes. We're just making that same circuit through the 15-0, through the 15-0, through the rondelle, through the loop, through the rondelle, through the 15-0, back through the middle 15-0. You can see I'm trying to get that loop to stay in place. But you know, those beads have to be snug enough. And sometimes it takes more passes to get them snug enough. Just be persistent and make it bend to your will. The struggle is real. Okay, I think I finally got it pulled snug enough. So now we're going to go through, we're going to go ahead and weave in our thread. We're going to go down through those 3 15-0s. And through the bicone. Everything looks nice and snug and in place. So I'm going to tie a half hitch here. Go through the wave. And through that 11-0. Tie a half hitch. Truth is, you can go through any thread path you want to and tie your half hitches wherever you want to. This is just where I'm choosing to do it. Through the rondelle. And I like to do my half hitches before a bigger bead so I can kind of pull and bury it in the bead. Through the 8-0. Third half hitch. Like I said, I like to do about 3 of them generally, because I want to make sure it's secure. And through the rondelle and the 11-0. Now I'm just trying to get away from the knot a little bit, so when I cut it, it doesn't unravel the knot. Through the wave. And I'm going to get rid of my thread, and like I said, like to use a thread burner. You can thread burn it, you can cut it. whichever you prefer. And there you have it. Now all you have to do is make the second one. I think they're really pretty, and the second one, they're fun to make, so the second one will be fun too. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like it. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post one. I am new at this, so please forgive any editing issues. And see you next time.